right, it's day number 21 in the month of July 2024. Good evening and welcome to Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Revenue Authority, Guel PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. The show is proudly powered by the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority-GPHA, and our media partner on this journey of a lifetime is the Business and Financial Times, the BNFT. If you want to have a grasp of all that transpired in the show tonight, make a date and grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, and you'll be able to see all that happened here on the show tonight. Tonight, we are streaming live on our social media pages. On Facebook, we are live at Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Still on Facebook, we are streaming live at Port of Tema. And on YouTube, we are streaming live at Iron Port. Iron Port. Now, we shall be getting interactive with you as usual. And so all you have to do is sit back, relax, and grab your phones and send us your messages and comments ahead via our dedicated WhatsApp line, which is 0538 037353. 0538 037353. Now, when the time is ripe and I pick signals from the production team, we shall activate the phone lines for you to call in and contribute to the discussion. My name is Kennedy Mona. We're going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the show. Please stay with us.
Ohima, what will you take a number first? By you. You have to take the number, give me.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I come.
Shut up!
Mame, fill me tank number what? Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fill up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy. Goyle is good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah, our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS. We connect. You thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome to the GPHA port of Takoradi, Ghana's first commercial port. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority (GPHA) has in its quest to position the ports of Ghana as the leading trade and logistics hub of West Africa, embarked on a massive expansion drive at its Takoradi port, the first commercial port of the country. This has resulted in a radical transformation of the initial 7-berth low-drafted port, which was constructed in 1928, to an ultra-modern port fitted with deep drafted container, multi-purpose dry bulk, and liquid bulk facilities. The 16-meter deep dry bulk terminal is the deepest in the sub-region, with a total quay length of 800 meters. It is fitted with a combined 3-kilometer length conveyor system, which comes with a 2,500 metric tons per hour ship loading capacity, which has greatly improved ship turnaround time at the port. The Marshall Liquid Bulk Terminal is a fully automated liquid bulk facility dredged to -14 chart datum and equipped with automated firefighting system. The facility is fitted with 5 loading arms for gasoline, diesel, LPG, bitumen, and heavy fuel. On the container side, Takoradi Port's 16-meter deep Yield-Port and ATSL container terminal with a quay length of 600 is expected to receive container vessels in the third quarter of the year.
All right, welcome back. So we are now going to take a look at happenings in the port and shipping industry in the course of the week. And in the course of the week, Pioneer Food Cannery had cause to commission a brand new state-of-the-art cold store worth some $14 million. That's a very huge investment. We'll bring you the details pretty shortly. Plus the fact that Nigerian authorities have been urged to do much more to curb the incidence of stowaways. These stories and more. Please enjoy.
A new $14 million, 8,000-ton cold storage facility has been built and commissioned in Tema, adding to the country's growing asset base when it comes to modern and safe preservation of fish. Owned by Pioneer Food Cannery, a subsidiary of the Thai Union Group and producers of the Star-Kissed brand, this cold store is fully equipped with modern salting and sizing facilities. According to the Thai Union Group, ownership of a new cold store in close proximity to PFC's production factory will cut down on logistical delays and consolidate the company's storage needs into one location for increasing raw materials.
PFC has been renting cold store across Tema to support its operation. Finding the cold store that complied to our specification and standard has been challenging. Through close collaboration with a few industry partners, we have successfully brought this project over the line whilst meeting both local and EU expectations. Previously, our scattered cold store came with logistical challenges, including increased traffic, and therefore, that's what we want to eliminate.
It's true, PFC for all the years being here in Ghana hasn't really owned a lot of material assets. Of course, we have the building structure that's owned by PFC of the plant, but no land, no cold storage, no warehouse, no forklifts, no trucks, and even the machines that we're using, many of them are leased. So the fact and the circumstance that this is changing with the opening of this new cold store today, and with a long-term investment, I believe is a tremendous commitment of the Thai Union Group into PFC and into Ghana.
Thai Union has invested in PFC since 2010. Since then, this is the first major investment that we have made. And this investment is in the amount of 14 million US dollars. I believe that this investment would demonstrate our commitment, our confidence in the country of Ghana, in the city of Tema, and also in PFC management team.
The Member of Parliament for Tema East, Isaac Ashai Odamting, praised Pioneer Food Cannery for their decades of collaboration with the industrial city of Tema and its people, and called for even stronger investment in the human resource of the company.
Is to say thank you, that you recognize that this edifice presents to you a much better cost savings in your operations. Thank you, because I foresee and expect that the living conditions and the standard of living of our people who work in the Pioneer Group, both Ghana and across the globe, may improve by the major savings you make in here.
The Deputy Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Abdul Aziz Ayaba Musa, said the investment in this facility aligns with the government's goals for the fisheries sector, which hinge on the hygienic preservation of fish and the mitigation of post-harvest losses.
This new facility embodies our collective commitment to excellence in food preservation and distribution. It will leverage the latest refrigeration technologies to extend the shelf life of fish products, reduce spoilage, enhance food safety. These improvements are essential for meeting both domestic and international standards.
The Thai Union Group is widely represented in the global tuna production sector, with factories in France, Portugal, Italy, Germany, Norway, Seychelles, among others.
Calls have been made for the tightening of mitigating measures that check the canker of stowaway that has begun to emerge again in the West African sub-region. According to the Deputy Port Security Manager, Isaac Kofiedu, although the port of Tema continues to record zero stowaway embarkations, the port has become the destination of disembarkations of stowaways from elsewhere, and if care is not taken, it may become a trend. He said intelligence gathered pointed to the island port of Tinkan in Lagos, Nigeria, as a potential source of stowaways who may have recognized the business opportunity in this venture.
So now we don't have any challenge. We are even advising them how to do at their Tinkan port. So there's going to be an exchange program that one of our officers will go there, tell them what we do. We're also going to exchange information about those who have been disembarked here, data that we have about them, those who have been here 2-3 times, so that we share with them. But I think when they get back, nothing is down to them. So it's becoming something that they always want to do. Try and get here. The P&I Club will give them something small before they go back to Nigeria. So it's becoming like a business.
He was speaking exclusively to Iron Port after an exchange visit by the Interpol Maritime Security Unit to the port of Tema. The Interpol Maritime Security Unit, under Project Agwe, visited Accra and Tema on a mission to enhance cooperation between Ghanaian and Nigerian law enforcement and to provide an opportunity to discuss ongoing security-related cases of mutual interest. A criminal intelligence officer with the Maritime Security Unit of Interpol, Olude Aziz Ademola, said his outfit is pleased with the feedback and will work with both Ghanaian and Nigerian maritime security and law enforcement agencies to activate existing tools that would help curb this menace.
I won't say it's a common occurrence in the region, but as you see during the meeting, it was presented by the representative of Ghana Port Authority. So, but what we see there, we've mentioned some of the Interpol services that can use to curtail this, which include issuing of purple notice. That is, the Ghana Port Authority can exchange the information based on their experience with Nigeria, with their counterpart in Nigeria. They can also use some of our channels of communication, like exchange visit. We also do what we call mentorship through follow-up on cases. So we can use all these tools. And then this can also come up in the case coordination meeting that will commence tomorrow in Accra. So we have the platform in which they can use to exchange their idea against this trend.
The Interpol Maritime Security Unit also paid visits to the Narcotics Control Division, Eastern Naval Command, Marine Police, and the CID headquarters in Accra.
All right, so those were happenings in the port and shipping industry in the course of the week. We are now going to pick some international port and shipping news.
The Port of Barcelona has launched its first onshore power supply system at Hutchison Port's Best Container Terminal. This equipment, which is the first in a container terminal in a Mediterranean port, makes it possible to supply ships with 100% renewable origin electricity so that they can turn off their engines while in the Port of Barcelona and thus reduce their emissions. The OPS system is the first to be deployed under the €200 million Nexogen plan, which will enable all the wharves at the Port of Barcelona to be electrified to reduce emissions from port activity. Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO, and the Maritime and Port Authority of Singapore, MPA, have issued a grant call for proposals for the Australia-Singapore Low Emissions Technologies Initiative, also known as ASLET. Under the initiative, the partners aim to accelerate towards a net zero emissions future while delivering bilateral economic benefits. The ASLET is supported by the governments of Singapore and Australia. The objectives of the ASLET grant opportunity are to provide funding to projects that will contribute to the reduction of the cost of using low emissions fuels and technologies, including clean hydrogen and its derivatives and ammonia in maritime and port operations.
All right, so welcome back. We are now going to take a look at the word or phrase of the day. And remember, the word or phrase of the day has been fashioned to bring you up to speed with the terminologies and jargons we use in the shipping industry. Today's word is cross-docking. Cross-docking.
Cross-docking is a practice in logistics of unloading materials from a manufacturer or mode of transportation directly to the customer or another mode of transportation with little or no storage in between.
All right, so welcome. We are now going to zoom into our discussion proper tonight. And tonight we are taking a look at Ghana's coastlines and what the threats are. Because we woke up last week to news of erosion causing a lot of destruction to our coastline, and the Ghana Hydrological Authority came up with the news. I think there was a press conference or a program where the CEO came up with this particular story about the degrading state of our coastline in this country. So we thought it wise to bring an official from the Hydrological Authority so we can delve into the matters and see what exactly the situation with our coastline as a country is. And so it gives me pleasure this evening to introduce to us Engineer Yadom Boachi Akoto, who is the head of Coastal Engineering Division, Ghana Hydrological Authority. Good evening, sir, and welcome, Engineer.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Awesome. We're glad to have you.
I'm also pleased to be here in your studios today.
Thank you very much indeed. If you can walk us through what actually necessitated the press conference that you held during which this particular story broke.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I just want to extend greetings from my CEO, who is Dr. John Kisi.
Yes.
Who's in absence. I'm here to hold in the fort for.
Absolutely.
Okay, so from your question, over the years and recently, due to climatic change and associated sea level rise, we have had series of coastal erosions along our coast, especially at the hotspots, where there's devastation effect of this erosion has caused many destructions to life and properties, buildings, and even to the extent of affecting the economy or the fishing activities of fishermen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wonder if you can give us a brief on what the current state of our coastline is. I think there were some figures mentioned by Dr. Kisi, if we recall.
Exactly so. So if
the number of kilometers,
Yeah. So for our coastline, it's approximately 550 kilometers stretch long, and It's comprised of mainly sandy.
550
shores.
kilometers.
Yes, that's 550 kilometers. Sandy shores with beach features and rock outcrop, and usually a narrow beach. Yeah, so it's also interspersed with rivers and streams and some lagoons along the stretch.
Right.
And currently, we have realized that 2/3 of our coastlines are critically under stress, and this is a challenge that has come to stay with us, and we have to find and devise a way of solving or addressing this situation. Over the years, we have been able to undertake some coastal protection works. If I should...
you can list them, yes. Some of the things that you've done, yeah.
Check the data.
On the initiatives, yeah.
Okay, from, let's say from 2010, these coastal protections comprise of like Adan Sea Defense. We have the Blekusu Sea Defense, which is in the Volta region, which protected about 4.3 kilometer stretch. The Atoko Sea Defense Phase 1, 2, and 3, which protected over 4 kilometers.
Atoko, that's in Alonga?
Yes, that's in Alonga in the Volta region.
All right, sure.
Yeah, so other projects like the Keta Sea Defense and so on. We also have some projects, initiated some sea defense projects in the Greater Accra region, Central region, and the Western region in the past. So at various stages, and each project has did some length of stretch of protection. So if you sum up, we have actually in the last decade about 80 kilometers of coastlines have been protected or safeguarded from the threats we receive from the coastal, from the sea erosions. So this I say is the current state, and the 2/3, which is under threat, is approximately 770 kilometers of our coastline.
Okay.
It needs urgent attention. Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about protective measures, what exactly do you do as an engineer? When you go there, you say, okay, this place is reeling under serious threats, and so we need to deal with it. We need to take some protective measures. What do you do there? Do you build walls, or what is it that you do?
Okay, so there are several protection mechanisms that we can employ in protecting our coast. We have the hard engineering method, also soft engineering, and usually the ministry, together with the Ghana Hydrological Authority, undertake measures because the challenges at the coast are what we have to provide immediate solution. We undertake the hard engineering methods to solve this canker. And this actually are undertaken at the hotspots. When I say hotspots, areas where the erosion is serious, that if nothing is done, maybe we have to lose the whole coastline, city, or even national installations, or even monuments, just like even the castle, and all those that. So when usually we introduce coastal structures to avert this coastal erosion, like revetment, sometimes breakwater, groins, seawalls, and others, depending on the prevailing situation at the shoreline.
Okay, so initially you mentioned 550 kilometers of coastline, and then again you mentioned 700 kilometers. And you also mentioned that about 80 kilometers have been protected and all that. I want you to bring some clarity. When you mentioned 550 kilometers of our coastline, what exactly are you referring to? When you mentioned 700 kilometers of our coastline, if you can draw the dichotomy.
Okay, so I said our coastal stretch, total coastal stretch is 550 kilometers.
Yes.
And I did mention that 2/3 of our coastline, which is approximately 370 kilometers.
Yes.
Is at risk.
That was the figure Dr. Kisi mentioned.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
that's in his. And he also said that 80 kilometers out of the 370 has been protected.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, substantively, we have the drive is to concentrate on the remaining 290 kilometers of coastal stretch, which has to be attended to. The one third is fairly stable, which does not need any attention now, and we're hoping that if the current situation of climate change, sea level rise, and even natural forces persist the way it is, those one third can be still stable for some time. Yeah.
Okay, so can you walk us through? I know you mentioned some of the areas that you have protected that encapsulate, that makes up for the 80 kilometers that you have worked on.
Yeah.
But if you can tell us which areas in particular, I know you mentioned Atoko and the rest that have been protected, but you 370 is what is really reeling under serious threats.
Exactly.
So which areas, are involved?
Okay, so the areas span along the coastal stretch of the country. So when you take our coastal stretch from the western, that's border with Cote d'Ivoire to the east, border with.
Okay, I think there are some visuals there on the screen. Yeah.
With in the east to the Flao. This 370 kilometers is there are points where we normally say hotspots. It stretches across from the central region to the eastern to the central region to the Volta region primarily.
Okay.
Yeah, so
central to the Volta.
Yes.
Okay, it means it doesn't affect western.
Yeah, it affects western, but because the wave energy from the western is low.
Right.
So the wave energy from our coastline is low, and as it moves towards the eastern side is high. And that is how come we have more challenges moving from the western side to the eastern side. So some of the places, if I should mention, we have Aboise, we have Shama and Law, and Law coastal stretch. Other areas like Diskoff. Even when you come to the central region, there are places. The coastal stretch of Winneba is under threat. Manford is under threat, and Accra. In the Greater Accra, we have Koklobite, the Dansuma coastal stretch, Life area. Some areas like Tema Newtown.
Yes.
Tema Newtown coastal stretch is under threat. We also have the Lateshi coastal stretch, Maritime University stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ningo Pram, and the eastern stretch from the lower Volta Delta to Aflao border are all critical areas which falls within the 370 kilometers. Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe we have plans already, and we have proposed some projects, and we believe with time, as time goes on, and some of this will be addressed even before the year ends.
What are some of the propositions you've made?
Okay. For instance, with the eastern stretch in the Volta region, feasibility studies have been conducted for projects like the Blekusu Sea Defense phase 2.
Yeah.
That's, if implemented, will protect around 8 kilometer stretch. Yeah, from Blekusu through Denu to where it ends. So these are projects which has been conceived already, documents prepared, studies have been done. The seal of quality has been given. So we are waiting for commencement. Yeah, the government, our mother ministry is the Ministry of Works and Housing.
Yeah.
So we are waiting for commencement from them so that the contractor can go to site to implement this project to save the community and some infrastructure, social infrastructure installations along, especially the Denu to Aflao Road.
Okay, so you mentioned this cove, you mentioned Mountford, you mentioned Winneba, and I've been part of the Ministry of Transport delegation or team that have visited these. They've built landing sites and fishing harbors in most of these communities. I think it's like 14, sites across the country, even including Teshi and all that. Can't these landing sites help deal with the situation, or you think it would have no effect at all as far as the destruction of the area is concerned in terms of the coastal line that we have there?
Okay, so with the way our coastal stretch behave, it's the coastal stretch or the coastal phenomenon usually tends to establish its equilibrium. Equilibrium. So in the event of human interventions or at the shore, the coastal phenomenon tend to adjust itself, and this might in some way affect the downstream or sometimes the upstream of the shoreline.
Right.
So perchance there might be some distractions or even effect on the downstreams of the coast. And I know when these projects are conceived and feasibility works are done, they consider all these issues.
Right.
Therefore, I'm of the view that maybe I've not been to all the sites peculiarly, but I'm of the view that this project, as being initiated by the Ministry of Transport, took into consideration the effects on the downstream, and I'm sure works were done in that manner.
So if you would tell us, I know in your initial submission, you made mention of the fact that it affects the economy. That's through the fishery sector, and the fishes we have along these areas and all that. Now, what would you tell us the implication of the destruction of a coastal line or coastline is? What are the implications apart from the fisher folk suffering, and in what ways does it affect the fishery sector?
Okay, so the implication of the coastal erosion is that this usually the shorelines without any landing sites. The fisher folks use the natural landing site to operate and to land their canoes and also undertake some fishing activities. But the coastal erosion deprived them from landing.
So these are some of the screens I think we got from you.
Yes.
Effects of coastal erosion, and you can see the sand.
Yes.
There.
So they are the devastation effect of the waves.
Yes.
As it strikes the shores, it keeps on taking away the sediments little by little, and with time you can have this cliff erosion formed. So these areas they are along the Pram coastal stretch.
Right.
Yeah. And as you see, these ones are, I'm sure this is Shama and Lo coastal stretch, where if there's nothing is done, we stand a chance of losing the whole community of the Unlock stretch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that Toko area?
This side, I think the pictures are many. I cannot really point. So again, this side too is Oningo area. Yeah, this is another. It's a continuous stretch.
Yeah.
From that area. The devastation is quite serious. It has affected a lot of resorts, holiday resorts along the stretch.
Right.
Personal properties, buildings, and actually increase sea line recession. That's our land being lost to the sea.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are a major challenge in this area.
All right. So my interest is in the fisheries sector, because that's an area where a lot of people living along the coastline depend on their livelihoods. Their livelihoods depend on.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to tell us how it is impacting their lives. If we have these issues lingering on over the years.
In the fishery industry, especially when we undertake projects, we consider the fisher folks. We have stakeholder engagement with them, and sometimes their inputs also inform our design decisions, so that we make available landing sites for them.
Right.
Sometimes some little breakwater to help them bed their canoes. So especially when we construct groins, the groin field are used as landing sites, which helps the fisher folks to actually undertake their daily fishing activities without them worrying, well, where am I going to build my canoe? Because, along our shore, we have diverse fishing communities along the shore.
Yeah.
Each community has their own.
Okay. Axim fish landing site. Yeah. Okay. So these are the fish landing sites I mentioned.
Exactly. So this one was the
Axim.
Axim.
Yes.
Fishing landing site.
This is this cove. Yeah.
Okay.
Fish
And
landing
we
site,
actually did the sea protection close to that Axim fishing
The
port.
landing-
here.
okay,
yeah,
sure.
for the people in that community. Yeah. So and if we are able to protect our coast, it's going to promote the fishing activities.
Right.
Yeah, fishing activities in these regions. Yeah.
Okay, so we have national assets, along the coastlines. You mentioned the castles and all those things. Which other ones are involved, and what's the state of these national assets along the coastline as of now, and how badly are they affected?
Okay, so for instance, if we take the coastal stretch of the Aboise Power Enclave, which houses where is sited the Aboise Tema plant.
Yes.
There's this also the Twin Energy Tema plant, and both add up produce 730 megawatt of power. Yeah, so these installations are at risk.
Right.
If the government or hydro does not move in quickly, depend on funds availability to actually protect that stretch with respect to the Aboise Thermal plant.
Yeah.
We have to protect and seal that stretch to prevent sea erosion.
Right.
Yeah, from eating up. It is actually eating, but we need to step in fast to save
ameliorate,
the situation.
ameliorate the situation.
Yeah, and so along our coastal stretch, we have special the highways, Accra, Cape Coast, Takoradi Highway.
Right.
At the corridor near Cape Coast, the Duakwa stretch, the stretch is badly impacted by the sea erosion.
Right.
Where at a point, last I measured, was about 5 meters to the shore. That means that it's still eating up. And this stretch has to be tackled to protect the coastal, to protect the highway corridor.
Right.
Yeah, because it serves as a linkage for businesses traveling from Accra to Cape Coast and Takoradi. And if this is affected, it's going to affect a lot of things. Other highway corridors, we have the Dansuma Beach Road, the Tema, Newtown coastal stretch, the Denu Aflower Road, and other roads which I'm not being able to mention now.
Right.
Yeah. So these are national assets, social infrastructure asset of the country, which has to be taken into consideration. In other sphere, when they do this beach road, it comes, or they do together with the protection of the shore with the revetment, so that we know we have safeguarded all our beach roads.
Right.
Other infrastructural assets, for instance, we have the St. Augustine's Senior High School, which is very close to the sea.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I know that's in Cape Coast. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so along the same stretch, Cape Coast, and even the Cape Coast University.
Yes.
They are under threat.
Yeah. Okay.
We have the midwifery in Cape Coast.
Right.
And all these structures are very close to the sea.
Yeah,
they are very close to the sea. And what is separating them is the beach road there, some few meters to the sea. And we've realized from our monitoring, it's actually eating meter by meter. Studies indicate that we lose nearly 2 meters per year. But this trend is quite changing. It's changing because of, in recent times, the climatic condition has changed, and sea level rise has increased the water levels. Therefore, the wave impacts the shore with high energy, thereby eroding the sediment and taking it away. And this has increased the rate of erosion along all the stretch.
Right.
Yeah. And we have to, in essence, move quickly. Hydro is doing much. Hydro is doing much with assistance from our Madam Ministry, the Ministry of Works and Housing.
Yeah.
And, the challenge is, or the constraint is budgetary allocation to implement more coastal protection scheme to protect our shorelines. That's the challenge.
Right. Okay, so these destructions, are they man-made or they are natural?
Coastal erosion, the threats are usually natural and man-made. The natural is as a result of the natural coastal processes,
right?
Such as wave tides, currents, and we also have the climatic changes, sea level rise. And these are natural processes that is difficult to control. So what we have to do is to adapt and build a resilience coastline to avert the vulnerability caused by these natural tendencies, which continues unabated. Others too are human-induced factors.
Right.
So if we talk about the human-induced factors or anthropogenic factors, we can say some infrastructure or coastal infrastructure development. We can say sand winning. Sand winning has been one of our major challenges.
Right.
In our work, when we build, for instance, groins, which trap sediments within the ground field, and the sand that is being trapped to help protect the coast.
Right.
The sand is weaned by community members or scrupulous who also find a chance to actually also make ends meet by winning the sand for blocks.
Right.
And I'll use this medium to actually entreat the local authorities to actually help stop this this menace, because the sediment or the beach is protected by the sand.
Right.
And then when the sand accrues and it's being taken daily, it's actually fighting the natural cause of the protection, and this hinders our work and gives a lot of challenges. Some of these are the natural causes. Sometimes destruction of wetlands, mangrove degradation,
yes.
Destruction of wetlands, and when it comes to some nature-based solutions to this, where we build with nature, we must ensure that we're able to protect the coasts by engaging in these activities. So these are the natural and the man-made activities that contribute to coastal erosion. Yeah.
Right. So, what would you say? What role do you think government and the private sector can play to complement the efforts of the hydrological authority to stem this tide?
Okay. So in the past, the government is doing a lot, and what we think can help is increase funding for investment to coastal protection. Yeah. So increased funding is paramount, because investment in coastal protection is huge. Yeah, it costs a lot to protect, let's say, a kilometer of coastal stretch.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's one. And we also want to encourage public-private partnership, increase public-private partnership with developers or private entities, so that the government can leverage on expertise, resources, and funding to implement effective measures. Yeah, because it is important for the private sector to partner with Ghana Hydrological Authority in doing this. Others are the act for establishing the Ghana Hydrological Authority, which was established in September 2022, also provides the National Hydrological Fund. So that's a fund that has been set up, which was set out quite recently by the Minister Designate, Honorable Upon Nkrumah.
Yes.
That opened at a bench conference, the first day, Hydro Day. Yeah, so this fund is to promote hydrological services that we provide. You know, our hydrological services are in three major folds. We do the hydrology aspects, applied and operational hydrology. We do drainage and flood control, and also coastal protection works.
Right.
So, so the hydrological fund is to help us, is to augment the resource we receive from the government to actually do more.
Right.
And promote our activities. Yeah. So the other one is control human activities along our coastal shore.
Right.
And also, as I said, to stop like sand winning, mitigation of extraction of sand, which is also paramount. So these are the few activities that can help the authority in our quest to building with nature or fighting the effect of coastal erosion along our shores.
How critical is the issue of sand winning? Because you find a lot of people in this business, it's quite lucrative, and so a lot of people are fixated at it. They win, do I say they wind or they win sand all over the place, particularly on the Cape Coast stretch when you are going to see trucks, you know, all over the place doing that business.
Yeah, this is very critical in that, you know, when we do the protection, it's in our hands for protection, but the activities of this sand winners is under the jurisdiction of the local authorities. It's like they can stop them.
Yeah, as in the MMDAs.
Yes, the MMDAs.
Metropolitan Municipal and District Assemblies. Okay.
They have authority over the area, and we have several engagement with them on that when we are undertaking our development activities along the shore. Yeah, and sometimes these sand winners, let me say in quotes, they are difficult to deal with. From what we've heard, usually in some communities, because the individuals also stop them from winning sand, they only do that. They resort to doing that in the night.
Right.
Yeah, when people are asleep, they come with the tricycle, abobo yard, to load the sand, and you know, send it to wherever they want and start molding blocks. Others too, you go to the beach. In some places, it's obvious. They just mold the sand, the blocks at the shore, and no one. They are not hampered. So we entreat the local authorities to enact laws to prevent this sand winning.
Yes.
And also engage in education. Why the sediment are supposed to be there. They are not supposed to be weaned because they serve a purpose.
Right.
The sediment serve a purpose for protection. You know, they give, when you have enough sediment along the shore, it gives the right slope for the wave to break calmly. And sometimes when there are no sediments, the waves start taking the land.
Right.
The waves or the sun, the sea at the sits, long shore drafts bring sediments along the shore. And this happens in many ways. It brings the sediment, it accrues the sediment, and sometimes it takes away. So this is a seasonal thing that happens.
Right.
But these natural forces tend to balance itself when it accretes the sand or it takes away. But when the human component come inside to actually keep on winning the sand from the shore, it tends to affect the equilibrium. And as I said, that's when the sea also gets taking much sand away and the erosion continue to persist. So one, education should be increased in our communities to curb this situation.
Right.
And if the district assemblies, the assemblymen are be empowered to stop them, that will help. That will help.
Right.
And secondly, alternative livelihood should be provided to these inhabitants of the community that resort to always going to, to fetch the sand for their livelihood. If they are given alternative source of livelihood, I'm sure they will stop winning the sand. Yeah, so these are some of the things that we can do to help ourselves.
Right. Earlier on, you mentioned collaboration with the private sector and stakeholders and all that. Have you, by any chance, collaborated with or gotten in touch with the Center for Coastal Management of University of Cape Coast? I'm talking about Professor Dennis Aheto and his team. They are into coastal management. I don't know whether the hydrological authority has been in touch with them, or you have any collaborations with them, or worked with them also.
We have collaboration with the African Center of Coastal Resilience, that's ISCO.
Right.
We've even signed an MOU with them, and we are in close contact with them.
Right.
Hydro is in collaboration with a lot of institutions which are in the water management space.
Right.
Yeah. So going forward, we want to resort to making use of their research findings in the implementation of coastal protection schemes. So we have an MOU with the IWM, the International Water Resource Management Institute. We have with Water Research Institute, with NADMO, with the BRC Water Commission.
Yeah.
We have even KNUST, that's KNUST and UCC. Recently, we signed an MOU with the College of Sustainable Engineering under UCC.
Right.
Yeah. So in our quest to solve this, the trend in coastal erosion is now moving from the hard engineering method to the soft engineering method, where we use nature-based, and we depend on the research findings to actually help us do this going forward.
Right. Okay, so I just want to find out from you what the long-term effects of coastal erosion would be on the environment, first of all, the economy, and the communities within which these coastlines are located.
Okay, so long-term effects of this coastal, the coastal effect of this coastal bring threat to the economy, there's threat to life and livelihood, threat to national installations, threat to even tourism and landmarks and monuments.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the threats that happen as a result of this coastal erosion, and it's long term. Our coastlines are changing or evolving anytime, rapidly.
Yes.
So this is due to the continuous natural process, which is unabated, continuing. And when it happens, the long term effects involves loss of land, like recession, beachline recession, losing the land to the sea.
Yeah.
And this affects land and property along our stretch. It also affects, as I said, economic activities.
Right.
Globally, the coastal stretch holds it depends, about 30 to 60% of population reside in the coastal stretch.
Right.
And so it makes it an economic hub. Most of the activities happen in the coastal zone are numerous. If 60% of the population are residing near the coastal zone, then it's high time we take importance of the coastal stretch and its economy.
Right.
Yeah. So the long-term effects, as I said, loss of life that affect the economy. It's also impede, tourist activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these human activities can also, for instance, our coastlines is also the biodiversity of our coastline has to be taken into consideration. We have sea turtles.
Yeah.
That come to lay their heads.
Yes.
At the beaches.
Yes.
Along some of our coastal stretch, like for instance in Ngo Pram Pram.
Yes.
and Jeta, and Anyanuin. These are identified places where we have hatcheries of
sea turtles.
And if we lose the coast, we will not have these turtles coming to lay their eggs. And
right.
Actually, some of these turtles are even endangered sea turtles, which they find solace in our coast.
Yes.
Yeah. Others are like to say other long-term effects. Other long-term effects of our coastal of sea erosion is that's tourism activities, hampering tourism activities. The resorts which have installed their facilities, especially when you look at the Ningo Pram stretch where we have a lot of resorts.
Yes.
They are all folding up because the erosion at that stretch is very fast, and it's in the eastern region, the eastern coast, where erosion is high, and we are losing these resorts and the monetary aspects which accrues or the advantages we obtain from tourism. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we'll take one more question and then we'll go for a break and come and then activate the phone lines and take some messages that have started coming in. But I just wanted to find out from you what role individuals can play to help curb this, menace. You did make mention of the fact that if there's alternative livelihoods for these people, people living within the coast who depend on sand winning, for livelihoods, they probably would help. That probably would help curb the incidents of erosion and destruction of the coastline, in coastal Ghana. But I just want to find out from you individually, what can people do, people who live within these coastal communities do to help, ameliorate the situation?
Okay, so individuals can help in numerous ways. Creating awareness is one of them. Serving as watchdogs against scrupulous individuals who keep on winning sand. Sand winning is prevalent in other coastal stretch, but in other coastal stretch, it's very low. So, these individuals...
Before you continue, some people have started calling the line. That's the WhatsApp line. If you're watching and you want to call in, when the time is ripe, after we go for the break and come, you can call. But this particular line is for WhatsApp only. It's not for calling. So you can't call this one. I can see a number that's calling right now. So please, let's take note. Please continue, sir.
Okay, so individuals can also help. Our coastal lines, some areas are challenged with sanitary poor sanitary conditions.
Yes.
So individuals who live close to the shore can help with the cleanup of our coast, get our coast rid of this plastic waste and all that. Individuals who are involved in mangrove degradation can also stop or find alternative resources for firewood.
Yes.
Raising awareness about the coastal ecosystem, the importance of coastal ecosystem cannot be overemphasized. And also adapting to sustainable practices. So these are some of the input that individuals can help in ensuring that our coastlines are conserved.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television, and tonight we are taking a look at Ghana's coastlines and what we can do to stem the tide of the destruction that's befalling the coastlines of Ghana. The Ghana Hydrological Authority says some 370 kilometers of Ghana's coastline has been affected seriously. They've done a lot more and have worked on some 80 kilometers of coastline. That's by way of protective measures and all that, and there's still a lot more to be done. And so we're in the studios with Engineer Yadom Boachi Akoto, who is the head of Coastal Engineering Division, Ghana Hydrological Authority, and he's the one we're having a discussion with tonight. We're going for a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the discussion. Please stay with us.
Ohima, maybe I take a number first.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I dey come.
Shut up!
Mame, Philip, thank you, Mama. Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Ron 95.
Fill up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for mommy.
Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Goyle, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Welcome to the GPHA port of Takoradi, Ghana's first commercial port. The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority (GPHA) has in its quest to position the ports of Ghana as the leading trade and logistics hub of West Africa, embarked on a massive expansion drive at its Takoradi port, the first commercial port of the country. This has resulted in a radical transformation of the initial 7-berth low-drafted port, which was constructed in 1928, to an ultra-modern port fitted with deep drafted container, multi-purpose dry bulk, and liquid bulk facilities. The 16-meter deep dry bulk terminal is the deepest in the sub-region, with a total quay length of 800 meters. It is fitted with a combined 3-kilometer length conveyor system, which comes with a 2,500 metric tons per hour ship loading capacity, which has greatly improved ship turnaround time at the port. The Marshall Liquid Bulk Terminal is a fully automated liquid bulk facility dredged to -14 chart datum and equipped with automated firefighting system. The facility is fitted with 5 loading arms for gasoline, diesel, LPG, bitumen, and heavy fuel. On the container side, Takoradi Port's 16-meter deep Yield-Port and ATSL container terminal with a quay length of 600 is expected to receive container vessels in the third quarter of the year.
All right, so welcome back. This is Iron Port here on Metropolitan Television. Tonight we are taking a look at the destruction of Ghana's coastline and the threats as well as the challenges and what the Ghana Hydrological Authority is doing to curb this particular menace. With us in the studios, Engineer Yadom Boachiakutu, who is the head of Coastal Engineering Division, Ghana Hydrological Authority. Okay, so messages have come in. Let's take them. And I've been told by the production team that you can call in and contribute to the discussion. Not the number that you were calling. This particular one is for the phone in. It's for the WhatsApp only. The phone in number is what's on your screen, 020-552-8353. You can call that one and contribute to the discussion. Now, this one says, considering the increasing popularity of recreational activities along Ghana's coastline, such as beach resorts, water sports, and tourism, how significant is their impact on coastal erosion, and what measures can be taken to mitigate any negative effects while still promoting these activities? This one is from Ama in Pram Pram.
We, through the WACA program, we are putting up a framework that's integrated coastal zone management plan, which will help control these activities, recreational activities.
Yes.
Yeah, so when this is done, with the local authorities, we'll be able to actually map areas that will be ideal for these recreational activities or recreational installation that will help individuals who might want to go out and have some fun along the beach. Yeah. And so the development has to be controlled in a way that it does not affect the general stability of our shorelines.
Right.
So this is what I'll say for now. That question.
Okay. This one says, as a viewer, I'm concerned about how fishing activities affect our coastline. Can you explain how fishing practices contribute to coastline erosion and what steps are being taken to protect our coast while supporting fishermen? This one is Nimo in Kokrobite.
How fishing...
yes, Nimo says, as a viewer, I am concerned about how fishing activities affect our coastline. Can you explain how fishing practices contribute to coastal erosion and what steps are being taken to protect our coast while supporting fishermen? Nimo in Kokrobite sent in that one.
Okay, so these fishing activities can contribute to coastal erosion if installation of, let's say, for instance, fish landing sites or number of harbours are not controlled.
Right.
Yeah, because when these developmental infrastructure are installed on the coast, it tends to affect the natural equilibrium of the coastal phenomenon.
Right.
And this tends to affect the downstream. And as it does, downstream will tend to erode quickly than expected. Yeah, so in that case, it has to be controlled. The plan has to be, this, as I said, the integrated coastal zone plan will have to map up areas. That will be ideal for all this installation, so that we don't have in our coastlines everywhere, every communities. You move from about 100 kilometers. There's a community with a chief fisherman.
Right. Yes.
They have their own place, so they control the territory. They all want to have harbors for themselves.
Yes.
This cannot be sustainable, I think. So if it is controlled, we have a big natural landing site that can accommodate a lot more canoes that can help.
Right.
Yeah. And so and other is to also regulate the fishing activities that goes on in our coast, so that we don't deplete in time.
Yes.
Yeah, the species that are available.
Okay. All right. I'm told we have Emmanuel, who's calling us all the way from Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Awesome. Great to have you. Please shoot.
Actually, it's just an add-up to the question that was just asked. As to how fishing affects our coastal line.
Yes.
Actually, with that, it will be determined how the fishing is done. If the fishing is done according to the good practices, then it mitigates the problems that we're having on our coastal line. But if the fishing is done wrong, let's say fishermen, let's say some time ago, it's been banned, like using chemicals for fishing and all that. I'm just setting an example. Let's say a fisherman goes to the shore to fish, and then he goes in there with, let's say, dynamite or any harmful chemicals just to make it easy for him to get the catch.
Yes.
He or she does that. He does that, the fisherman does that, gets his catch and then comes back. But then where the pollution was done, it doesn't just stay there. It gets washed to the coastal lines, and then this degradation that we'll be talking about, those chemicals are what really comes back to the shore and then affect our coastal lines. That's the mangroves and that's the plantation around the coastal line, which is supposed to prevent erosion and coastal erosion.
Right.
So if the fishing activities are monitored and they are being done well, that will also mitigate the coastal erosion that we face currently in our country. Thank you. I'm Emmanuel again from the University Aquaculture and Water Resource Management, final year student.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Manuel. Great contribution there. We appreciate you for joining the discussion tonight. You can also call. The number to dial is right here on the screen, 020-552-8353. You can call in and contribute to the discussion. This one says, for coastlines close to main roads like Keta and Tema, how severe could the situation become without sea defense systems? How can you help us understand the importance and impact of sea defenses in these areas? Tony in Tema sent in this one.
Okay. So the importance of sea defense is they come in hand to stop the devastating nature of coastal erosion or the tidal effect. So when sea defense or revetment, shoreline revetment are installed,
yes,
it tends to absorb the wave energy. And when it's absorbed the wave energy, the wave dissipates its energy and goes back into the sea. Yeah, without eroding the coast. So these structures or shoreline protection structures help to prevent coastal erosion or sea line recession.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This one says, hi, Blue Economy. Coastline has potential for job creation in tourism. And it says, Coastline also has a lot in terms of job creation, but unfortunately we are wasting it. What do you have to say about this particular one? That's come from... Okay, I understand. We'll take that again when we return, but I understand we'll have to go on the line and welcome from Kanda, Abraham. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Good evening.
Evening, sir. Please go ahead. And if you can lower the volume on your TV set, sir.
Yeah, I think that this topic, it's a very important issue.
Thank you, sir.
I think this issue is a very important topic that I think we have to look at it very well. like I already said, blue economy.
I think you are listening to yourself, AB. If you can lower the volume on your TV set, that will do us a lot of good, please.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
This is what we call blue economy.
Yes.
Yeah. Even when you look at that right now, when you go to the riverbanks, it's creating a lot of jobs. So I think that in the sector like tourism,
yes,
we must treat it in a way that even in the with the people in the area that can give them job.
Yes.
But I think a little is being done about that. So my question is, what steps are they taking to ensure that we use our our coastal area to benefit the people in every area? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Are you the one that sent in the question, the message?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sure. Great. Thank you very much. I think if you'd want to probably provide a response to what he.
Okay. So I think these questions too are the another dimension of the coast.
Yes.
You know, the ocean has a lot of resources.
Yes.
Yeah. So blue economy is a long-term strategy of sustaining economic growth.
Yes.
And so when we say blue, we mean economy. What can we gain from the sea? There, as you said, there are a lot of importance of the sea can generate a lot of money.
Right.
For instance, in some countries we have tidal energy.
Yes.
Used to produce energy.
Yes.
We call it renewable energy.
Energy, absolutely.
Yeah. And when it comes to other aspects like fishing, mangrove, minerals, all these things are aspects of the economy. And when it comes to tourism, we can also harness, great economy from the tourism.
Yes.
We have maritime activities, transports, and all these form parts of the blue economy.
Right.
That way we talk about. So, if it is looked at well in a holistic view,
yes,
this blue economy can fit into the integrated coastal zone management plan.
Right.
And so it's a different aspect of our coastal protection itself. So that's a wider view.
Right.
And we have the SOP, that's Sustainable Ocean Plan Management, which is being established underway from the Office of the President, and they are looking at all these things.
Okay.
So I believe it's positive.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You can also call in. The number to dial is right on your screen, 020552353. You can call in and then contribute to the discussion. Tonight we're talking the destruction of our coastlines here in Ghana, the challenges and the threats. And with us in the studios, Engineer Yadom Boachi Akoto, who is the head of Coastal Engineering Division, Ghana Hydrological Authority. Now, this one is from one of our regular texters, and Ohima in Tema. She says, good evening, I am Port. Quite an insightful discussion there. Keep it up, Ken. Thank you very much, Ohima. She says something urgent has to be done about the situation. Galamsey destroying our forests and now erosion taking our shorelines. No way. Right. Okay, I understand we have from Tema Maxwell, who's joined us once again. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Awesome. Is that Maxwell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Sir Max, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm actually from Cannery. I wanted to find out. You see, these sea defense systems actually, I know their main role is to kind of reduce the effects of the waves. Okay, but then what happens is that when we install.
Hello, Maxwell. Hello, sir.
The adjacent towns. So I wanted to find out, is there a way when installing this system? Because typical the Keta sea defense system did, to me, I think did more than good, because the other adjacent towns weren't experiencing erosion at first. But then after the installation of the defense system, Now the erosion has spiked up. So I'm trying to find out, is there a way that we could install the defense system without affecting the adjacent towns? Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Max from Tema. You can also call. The number to dial is 020-552-8353. It's right on your screen. You can call and contribute to the discussion. I don't know whether you have anything to say with respect to Maxwell's submission.
His question was somehow shaky. I didn't, but if I could get the inputs, he was asking, saying that how can we install the sea defense projects without actually causing any negative effects?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know, all these solutions to prevent coastal erosions have their pros and cons.
Right.
You know, so he made mention of the Keta Sea defense.
Yes.
I think the Keta Sea defense is doing well. If not for the Keta Sea defense, we'd have lost the entire Keta Lagoon complex.
Right.
Because at that time, the peninsula between the sea and the Khartoum and the lagoon was endangered, and it was with in 2000 from 2000 to 2008 that this project came to forestall and restore the tendency of the sea to take over the whole of Keta town.
Right.
Because it actually prevented the sea from taking over the lagoon.
Right.
So on the downstream side, ideally when you install a sea defense project, or it actually shifts the effect of the erosion to the downstream side, and this is an indication that we have to actually safeguard the entire stretch of our shoreline, so that we know that we are sure. And with this, we have to include or introduce the hybrid system. That's a combination of the hard engineering and the soft engineering method.
Yes.
And now, our thinking as an authority is to engage more nature-based solution, whereby we adapt to the coastal environment and improvise solutions to actually solve and prevent it. So that's the thinking now.
Okay.
We want to do more hybrid coastal protection works and nature-based, other than hard engineering method.
Okay. All right. I understand we have Frank calling us from Oyarifa. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Frank calling from Oyarifa.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, please go ahead.
Right. So I want to say Mr. Koto is really doing well, but I have a question for them concerning their Dansoma Sea Defense project.
Right.
And you see, I think they have a revetment and a groin, two groins around that stretch. But it seems the groins are not serving the purpose for which they were made. The sediment transport, as in trying to accumulate a lot of sand to create the beach, it's not really working. I don't know whether he can talk to that. And he also said they want to now do the hybrid kind of mechanism where they'll combine the hard engineering ones together with the natural means.
Right.
Which project are they going to start with when it comes to that? Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Frank, all the way from Oyarifa. We're grateful to you for your call. Yes. I think
so Frank, thank you very much for this question. So the Dansoma Sea Defense, as you rightly said, is comprised of the revetment and the groin. And Dansoma location is one of the areas where, the sand winning is very devastating. When you go to the area, every now and then they keep on winning the sand. It's not that the groin system is not working; it's not working appropriately. When we built that structure, we had allowed the natural processes to fill in the groin system. We did not do a beach nourishment to import sand to fill it so that it can be filled quickly. But because of these activities of this sand winners, anytime the sand keeps building, they come to take it away.
Right.
And it's a process which has continued for since the project started.
Right.
And we've spoken to the assemblymen because they have the authority to stop them. And sometimes the information we get is not quite encouraging. But we know that as we keep on talking about and engaging our communities to go down for the project to really work.
Right. Okay. So you wanted to let's pick Michael from Tema and come back. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Awesome. Yes. Please go ahead.
Yes. So first of all, I would like to commend Engineer Koto and the Ghana Hydrological Authority for the good work they are doing. As someone coming from a coastal community, I know firsthand the effects of coastal erosion.
Right.
So I think if there are challenges funding, I think it is high time government should try and direct some funds to the authority.
Right.
To help them in their operation. So, yeah, I think that's my contribution.
Right. Thank you very much, Michael, all the way from Tema. I think Michael will be our last caller. We can't take any more calls. We have barely 3 minutes to wrap up tonight. And so, yes, you were on a point.
Okay,
when Michael
so the second part of his question was, where are we going to implement this nature-based or hybrid solution? So,
yes.
We started talking, and pretty last month there was an engagement with a Dutch. We call them the Dutch Water Institute,
right.
where we are planning to have a pilot project of this nature-based solution along our eastern stretch. So
right.
plans are underway. We are yet to undertake a feasibility study, considering the eastern coast from Pram to the Aflao border.
Right.
And this will serve as a pilot project that will be undertaken. Our neighboring country, Togo Benin, has undertaken one of these nature-based solutions, which is quite steady. It's working quite frankly. And we believe, because they are along the same stretch, if we introduce some in this country, it will help us.
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So Frank also did make mention on the fact that, and you made a mention, earlier in one of your submissions about the fact that lack of finance or, what do we call it, allocation, budget allocation to deal with issues concerning the, Ghana's coastline is one of the problems that we're grappling with as an authority. I just want to find out from you, beside that, what are some of the other challenges you face in your quest to deal with this particular situation head on?
Okay, so other challenges include, collaborations. That's, in Ghana here, as it were, we tend to work in silos. The collaboration with other institutions who are in the space of, water management, especially along the coast, sometimes it's shaky.
Right.
Because we have Ministry of Works and Housing, Hydrological Authority, the fisheries, the maritime ports, water resources, even the local communities. And sometimes, and even now, the forestry, which is encouraging mangrove restoration along our coast. So it's one challenge, because sometimes they tend to do this, which maybe because we don't synchronize them, it tends to affect the way we develop.
Right.
And so that's another challenge. And we also have one challenge too. Is how do you call it? To put it this way, some communities, community engagement.
Right.
Community engagement that we need to. Sometimes stakeholder engagement does not go on well in implementing our solutions. Sometimes they don't understand. When you speak to the fishermen, we want to introduce this, they tend to not to understand. It also hampers and delays our projects.
Right.
It's one of the main challenges we have. Going forward, I believe the authority will also come up with. We want to increase education awareness. So it's one challenge that we have set.
Right.
What our current CEO has started doing with, now we have outreach to senior high schools.
Right.
Talking about hydrology, what we do, flood control, coastal erosion, trying to build the knowledge into the children as they grow, so that they know the importance of our coastal ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's Engineer Yadon Boachi Akoto, who is the head of Coastal Engineering Division, Ghana Hydrological Authority, in the studios with us tonight. We've been discussing the destruction of Ghana's coastlines and the challenges and threats and what they've been able to do and what they are going to be doing in order to ameliorate the situation. We'd like to say big thanks to the CEO of the Ghana Hydrological Authority, Dr. John Kisi, for allowing engineer to come and share some thoughts with us from his outfit. I would like to say big thanks also to our sponsors, Ghana Revenue Authority, GWEL PLC, Serene Insurance, Ghana Link Network Services, Meridian Port Services, and Phoenix Insurance. We'll say a big thanks to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority for powering the show. We entreat you to watch the abridged version of Eye on Port on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on Ghana Television. My name is Kennedy Mona. God willing, next week Sunday we shall bounce back with another wonderful edition of your favorite Eye on Port here on Metropolitan Television. We wish you a super week ahead and keep watching the rest of our programs here. Good evening and thanks for choosing us.